Hi everyone. So this is St Mary's, and as the title suggests, I just keep on finding amazing churches. And that is one of the great things about living here in Wales. I've been making these videos for about 4 months now on YouTube, and for some of you who've watched me from the start, hopefully you are seeing a slow improvement each video. My drone footage is definitely getting better. I'm starting to know how to use that thing now, and I'm trying to slow things down a little bit. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you can see an improvement. So a little bit of history about this church. It was first made in the 13th century, and it was rebuilt in 1875. The church is now owned and looked after by the Friends of Friendless Churches, which is a charity that I've just discovered. And if it wasn't for them, this church would be no longer here. Because back in 1982, it was declared unsafe, and then it was redundant. And I think the Friends took over in 1989, and they put a new roof on and restored it. And inside is really nice condition. So well done to them. They've done a fantastic job here. Back in 1956, St Mary's was designated with a Grade 1 listed status. So I find it like really strange that just 30 years later they were going to pull the building down. What's the point in listing a building, especially a Grade 1, if it wasn't protected from the moment they did that? Now, when I visited the church, the porch was open, but the main building was actually locked. But there's a telephone number that's inside the porch you can ring, and it explains where the key's kept. And it's only like half a mile down the road in a farm. It's very easy to get to. So if you do come and visit, don't be shy. Ring up the number, and you can get inside the church. And I'll add some background music again so you can enjoy the inside of the church. So I've come back outside now, and the graveyard is quite a big one, and there's plenty of really nice gravestones here, and some quite unusual ones too. Also, here in the graveyard, there's two really big yew trees, and I love yew trees. So we'll have a little look now. I actually didn't really see this one. I came looking for these gravestones, and I peered through, and then I saw this massive yew inside. So my initial reaction was, "Wow, what a beauty!" As usual, I just turned up at this church without looking at any of the history of it, or anything about the graveyard at all. I always like to find interesting churches that I can go to, but come here with an open mind and find out things for the first time. So, yeah, this tree was sort of hidden away, and it's a really big one. Now, I've just noticed in previous videos, I keep saying the diameter of the U. What I mean by that is the girth. It's not quite the right word. So, in my book, this is supposed to have a 9 meter girth. Now, I think it's bigger than that. It looks to me at least 10 and a half meters around. But like, I didn't bring any rope to measure it myself. I just think that maybe the book isn't quite right, because once you come to these churches like every week and you keep seeing these trees, you can kind of guesstimate yourself. And when you see trees like this size, 9 or 10 meters around, you're seeing a tree that's around the 2,000-year-old mark. It also looks like someone has been cutting these branches off. Now, we are in farmer territory, so I'd imagine it's farmers from the distant past who are maybe trying to be good and cut the tree back, but that's not a good thing for these yews. They're supposed to, these branches are supposed to go back into the ground, and it makes it stronger. There's a really nice church cross here, and it's believed to be from the medieval times. It's really hard to find history and dates on these monuments. um, looking on the internet, there's hardly anything. There must have been books, probably very old books out there that's got pictures and history. I'd love to get my hands on some of them. Now just check out how beautiful the stonework here is of Jesus. It's absolutely stunning, and this is why I'm into going around the churches, because I'm not religious, and I really dislike religion. um, but I love the architecture, I love the history, and I know what the secret meanings are behind the whole church and Jesus. um, and this is what I'm interested in it for, really. These gravestones are quite unusual, and they're so chunky. They're probably like 8 or 10 inches thick. Really nice ones, made to last. So over this side we have a war grave here, and some other really interesting graves, and the other yew. Now, this is another female tree like the other one, and in my book it says it's the same size as the other one, but it's not. This is definitely a bit smaller. A really nice one though, and again, it looks like Mr. Farmer has been cutting these branches off. And I don't mean to be rude, because that's probably done years ago, but like, if you're in a position where you're looking after the graveyards, and especially these yew trees, please look into how you're supposed to care for these trees. You're not really supposed to touch them. Leave them to do their own thing. And if anyone disagrees with me, just please take a minute to read this little bit by the experts themselves. In actual fact, no yew tree can be considered dead. Even the remains of an old trunk, several thousand years old, can come back to life again. And this is one of the connections between the yews and Jesus Christ. Here's a little section, and these are all gravestones for the Crawshay family, which is the family that owned the Carmarthen Castle and all the ironworks in Merthyr Tydfil. So they're very similar. This gravestone here is quite modern, but it's in the same style as the other ones. Interestingly enough, these gravestones are all facing a different way than the rest of the gravestones here. Now, you should be facing east where the altar is, and they're not quite that way. So only they will know why they've done that, but there will be a reason for it. I'm going to leave you now with a bit more drone footage. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to doing another one soon.